Hi everybody, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This video is of a train layout that I am in the process of building. It's the first layout that I've ever built, and here's what it looks like. Just some information, some background on this layout. All the track which I decided to use is Atlas track. The layout itself sits on Miani benchwork, which is probably one of the easiest ways to build a layout that I've seen so far. Everything comes in sections, so if you ever decide that you want to disassemble it and move it, it makes it really easy to do that. Now, getting in here, I don't have a lot of room. This is a smaller room. It's only 12 by 14, so there's not a lot of space in here. So with the limited space that I have, I was pretty much only able to build two ovals, and further in the back over there you can see a coaling tower. That's the Lionel coaling tower. And there's 4 tracks which run the length of the room all the way over to the other side. And over there we've got an MTH engine shed. Now, one thing about my layout, which I'll let you guys know, is this layout was not designed after anything in particular. It was not meant to be perfectly prototypical. It was not meant to be anything other than fun to build and loaded with things which I enjoy. So as we go through, I'll point out a few things which are on here that I really wanted to do. Now, this right here is my farm. You can see from this angle, I've got 2 plowed fields with a lot of items that I got from Scenic Express. Now, I took a little bit of a different route than most people would do. I actually glued the plowed fields on top of styrofoam board. As you can see right there, it's sitting on top of the Homosote. The reason I did that is because with all these items that I was going to stick in there, it made it a lot easier to just put a little hole and take each cornstalk, for example, all 96 of them, and just punch them right through into the corkboard. So as opposed to drilling individual holes for each item that you see here, it was much easier just to punch a hole and stick them right in. Nothing is actually glued down except for the tomatoes right there and the beans on the pole right there. Again, I wanted to be able to move this around in case I wasn't happy with it. This being my first layout, I wanted to take an opportunity to pretty much do anything different any way I wanted to. Move things around while I was building. The first design that I drew looks nothing like what you're seeing right now. So again, this layout is based upon things that I like, and I wasn't going to try to make anything in a specific manner. So if I saw something I liked, I was just going to throw it on there if it made sense. One thing which I really do enjoy time of year is the Halloween time of year. So what we've got here is a Halloween town. Now, these buildings that you're seeing are Department 56 buildings. And also K-Line buildings. They had a Halloween run of 3 or 4 buildings, and as you can see, there's the Halloween Festival building, the Halloween house, and then the Halloween tree. Now, one set of cars, or series I should say, that I really think Lionel has done a great job with is the Lionel Heritage set. Now you can see here, these are a lot of the cars from that run. Now, these cars, in my opinion, have some of the best detail of any car that Lionel has made so far. And I'll walk past them so you can get a better view of each one of them. Okay, now we're getting towards the back of the layout, and here you can see the MTH engine shed. Now, one thing I want to show everybody, these wheels right here came off of my ES44 ACEs, 2 of which that are the GE engines that Lionel made. They have some rust on them. Now, that was the problem. Lionel was saying that these wheels had a tendency to rust, and if you see right here, that one wheel's got some rust on it. So my layout, not being a prototypical layout, I wanted everything to look clean. And then I also wanted some items to be weathered. So you can see right here that this MTH engine shed is not weathered. But when we get into the middle of the layout, right there, you've got some weathering on this building, which is the U.S. Flag Company building. Now, these buildings right here, like this building, for example, and the grain silo that you see here, are made by Model Rail Scenes. And there's another building right there. That's the Hershey factory. What they do is they paint the buildings for you, weather them, send them to you, and then you have to assemble them and wire them to your layout. For me, being a novice builder and whatnot, I thought it was the easiest way to go. Now, as I said before, my layout is based upon things which I really enjoy. So I'm a humongous Yankees fan, and as you can see, they're actually on TV right now. There we go. We've got the MTH 2.0 Yankees train set. And in the back right there is the MTH water tower, and then the Department 56 Yankee Stadium. And way in the back over there is MTH Premier boxcar. Right there is my father's train station from when he was a kid, and then here's his set. Now this is an older set, probably somewhere around 1950, but we started doing trains together and I wanted to make sure I had some of his items on my layout. So right here is an older light tower, and as I get to the other side of the set, you'll see some of the other items that were his as well. Now in the middle, like I said, my layout has pretty much items that I wanted to do. I wanted to have my farm, which I showed you guys already, and then I wanted to have an oil refinery. Now these oil tanks are newer. They just came out from Lionel just about a year ago. And then right here, we've got some tanks from Stan's Tanks. All of his tanks are hand-built, and he does outstanding work. Some of the other engines that are on the layout right here this is the Santa Fe F3. This engine just came out, powered and non-powered. It's got legacy in it. Now I should let you guys know too that my layout is all run on DCS. That's MTH DCS and Lionel Legacy. And on the other side, we've got the New York Central F3. And behind it is the BNSF ES44 ACE. And since it's a work in progress, my plan is to basically have a road right here, which is going to curve to the left. There you go. It'll curve to the left. It'll be a dirt road. And it's going to have a gravel road inside the oil refinery where you see the Lionel tanker truck. And then obviously we'll detail the farm area, the farmhouse, and over here by the barn. So let's go around the other side so we can take a look. And in a minute, what I'll do is I will light up the layout so everybody can see what it looks like with the lights off. As we come around, we've got the MTH brewery right here with a few cars. And here we've got the back of the farm. And like I said, in here we've got a couple of lines which will run into the industrial area of the layout. Now this section right here, what I decided to do is build a little bit of combination of pine trees with a little bit of southwestern look to it. This piece I got from Scenic Express, and the detail on it is just phenomenal. So I'm trying to incorporate that into my layout, just not exactly sure if it's going to work. I've got this rock which I got from Scenic Express, which I'm going to detail with some trees and some forest items. We've got some bears over here that we're going to throw on there, and some campers, so there'll be a small campsite as well. Again, my layout is all about things that I enjoy, so it does not necessarily have to be anything specific. It's just going to be things which I think look good on the layout. Getting back to the other side, we've got the Hershey factory. And you can see this is a Milk Duds car. I actually just picked this up today. And we've got actual boxes of Milk Duds. But sorry to disappoint you, there's no Milk Duds in there. And a couple of more of the Hershey cars. So that's the layout. What I'm going to do now is show you some of the engines that I have also tucked away. And then I'll light the layout up for you, and that'll be it. So give me 1 second to come over here. This engine that you're seeing right here, first engine, that is the Lionel Challenger, which just came out about a year ago. Legacy unit. Now you'll notice that there's no tender. That's because Lionel has had a recall on the tenders The soundboards have a tendency to short out. Mine is actually at my dealer, and he's popping the old soundboard out, and I'm going to be installing the new one, so I should have that back shortly. In the back over here, we've got the gray Lionel Challenger and the gray Lionel Union Pacific 844. In the middle, there's a couple of Norfolk and Western engines. And like I said before, I really enjoy the Heritage line, so I'm in the process of getting that line set up with all my engines. And right here, we've got the Lionel SD70, Chicago and Northwestern. Behind that, you can see the Union Pacific SD70, the Norfolk Southern, then the Southern behind that, and over here we've got the Conrail SD70. Now, the engine right in the middle there, that is the Lionel Veranda. That whole engine is die-cast, probably weighs about 20 pounds. Beautiful engine, runs outstanding. It has two separate smoke units which alternate depending upon which way the engine is running. And on the bottom, like I said, one of my most favorite engines is the GE Hybrid. And anybody that has one of these engines know how good it is. The lighting effects on it turn green right here and actually change with the direction of the engine. And it's a great engine. It runs really well. All die-cast, pretty heavy. And behind that we've got an MTH Mohawk. In the middle right there is a Lionel Hudson. It's an older Hudson. And behind that is the Pierre Marquette Legacy Berkshire. So last but not least, I'm going to show you guys my favorite engines, and you might be able to see in there, they're the big boys, all four of them. Two of them are MTH engines, and two of them are Lionel. Here's your first one. They are both, the two MTH engines are the first two. They are both Proto 2. This first engine is a little bit newer. I'd say it's about a year old. And in the back over there, we've got the Lionel Legacy Big Boy, and then just the regular Lionel, I believe it's Rail Sounds 4.0 Big Boy. So that's my layout and some of my engines. I'm going to turn the lights off now. That way you guys can get an idea of what the layout looks like when it's lit. So give me 1 second to get these lights out. I'll leave one light on, that way we can get an idea of where things are. So we'll come all the way around back to the right hand side of the layout. Alright, here we go. Now one thing you'll notice here, there's a light that's burned out in there. A friend of mine gave me this light tower because he wasn't going to use it anymore. So I did try to do a couple of things which might make the layout look a little prototypical. Having a burned out light makes it look a little bit more realistic than having all perfect lights. So like I said, you'll see some things here which make it look prototypical. You'll see a lot of things which you just wouldn't see normally. So it's a lot more fun when you're doing your layout just to do whatever you like. And that's the beauty of the hobby. You can pretty much do whatever you like. If you want to make your layout perfectly prototypical, you've got every chance to do that. And if you wanted to make it like mine, which is just different combinations of different items, you've got that ability too. Alright, we're coming to the left side of the layout, and one of the items which I really love on the layout is the Scrapyard by Lionel. And you can see the torch, how it lights up blue right there. These are the Lionel Sunoco tanks lit up. The yellow one has a blinking red light on top. And that's about it. I hope you guys have enjoyed looking at my layout. I thank you for taking the time to look at it. If you have any questions or you'd like to know where I got any items or comments, feel free to send them. I look forward to hearing from anybody. Thank you very much, and happy railroading, everyone.